Hi guys, welcome to my Etsy channel. This is Nancy from nancybadijo.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. Today I will be doing a review on the beautiful store called Grace Gift Boxes. The owner that allowed me to do a review is called Stephanie. So thank you, Stephanie, for allowing me to do a review of your shop. Guys, any tools or resources that I talk about on this video are all linked below this video. There's a little text box. You could click there and you'll find all the resources and additional resources as well. And make sure that you join my free Etsy library to download free worksheets and checklists. So that way you could build a thriving Etsy business and use those resources to help you improve the quality of your store, your listing, the curation, and etc. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I normally do is pick a Etsy listing that I'm going to audit. So today I will be doing an audit on this actual listing right here. Is the coffee gift box. And the first thing I always talk about is product photography. And the reason why is one, it's not the most important, but is one of the main important factors when selling as an e-commerce store. The reason why is because when you sell in an e-commerce platform, the person or your customer can't go and touch the item or feel it or wear it or look at it, right? All they have to go by is your photos. That's all they have. So your photo has to be amazing. It has to be compelling. It has to be clear. It has to be cropped in a complimentary way. It has to showcase your item. And when the person sees it, they should know automatically what they're buying. They should know exactly what they're getting with their purchase. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your photos are compelling and beautiful. And you want to also be able to not only target your target audience, right? You also want to target those people that maybe stumble upon your store by mistake, but they fell in love with your item that they also want to buy from you. So you kind of want to target to both or cater to both, more your target audience, but if you get additional sales just because your images are beautiful and your products are beautiful, why not, right? So you want to make sure that one, your photos are cropped in a complimentary way. Um, what I would suggest is that with having, like, for instance, this photo here and having the white background, the mug is kind of getting lost in the photo. So my suggestion would be is to take the photo on a regular um, clear background. I don't necessarily think you should take it on top of the rug. Um, I do like the fact that you did use additional photos that you added, as many photos as you could. So that's a A plus, because a lot of people just put one photo and that's all they do. So that's really good that you did that. What I would do is I would take the photos either outside in natural light to avoid the shadow down here, and then I will have just a nice minimal background to avoid distraction. I feel like the rug is a little bit distracting, and then in certain photos it looks different colors, like it's not cohesive all across. Like here it looks like a white rug, here has a lot of shadows, here looks almost like beige, here looks almost like bluish off white. So because of that, it doesn't have that consistency. I would just take pictures in a really nice neutral color, maybe on top of your kitchen counter if you have a really nice countertops, or maybe just outside with natural lighting. But I would recommend changing up your photos. I do like the fact, like I said, you have multiple pictures. That's really good because you're showcasing that you are trying to show your product in different angles. I like the box. It's a beautiful box, by the way, also. So yeah, that's my recommendation, because you have great products. I just don't feel like the photos are showcasing your product the best way it can be. Um, if you have difficulty with doing with the photos, what I recommend doing is either looking at other stores that sell similar items like you are and they have a lot of sales to see, to get inspired. I'm not saying to copy them, but just to get inspired and see what they're doing. And I also recommend, because I know that as Etsy sellers, we wear many hats, right? So we have to do, not only are we doing our products or creating our products, now we have to do SEO, now we have to do the photos, now we have to market. So it is a lot, right? It's a lot that we have to do. However, if you could hire someone else to do your product photography, especially if you know that for yourself particular, it is going to be a little bit hard to do. I'm highly recommend doing that because I will, one, save you unnecessary time, and two, is going to guarantee that you're going to get these beautiful photos. What you could also buy is a light box. I don't know if you ever heard of these before. I actually have one from my candle store, and the light box is basically, looks like this, and you could buy them on eBay or Amazon for very relatively very cheap. Like this one is $39, and you put the items in here and you take a picture. And some of them have actually openings on the top. Mine has an opening on the top and on the side. So therefore, if I want to take a picture looking down on my item, I can. And if I want to take a picture just from the front, I can. But the nice thing about them is that they create a nice white background. A lot of them have lighting on the side, so it's really nice. There's no shadows, there's no all these different colors, and you'll be amazed how beautiful your photos turn out to be. And you don't even need a camera. Majority of the times I take my pictures just from my iPhone and they come out as beautiful. So I recommend doing something like this to showcase your item a little bit better in my opinion. Um, because keep in mind, the photo is what makes the person click on your listing. And if the photo is not captivating enough and it's not as beautiful as possible as you can make it, most likely they're going to keep browsing and they won't click on your actual listing. And what you want to do is you want to make them stop and see what you're selling because they're interested in buying your products. So I highly recommend redoing your photos. That way you could showcase your items in a more beautiful, tactful way. The second thing I want to talk about is SEO, also known, right, as search engine optimization. And SEO is basically how people find your products. So they type in, coffee gift box, your item pops up, they click on the photo, and that's how they find you. And they could find you whether it's through they could find you through Etsy search result, or they could find you through Google, Yahoo, any large search engine out there. And that's just how it works. And there's different factors, right? There's so many factors that plays when your actual listing comes up in the first page of Etsy or the first page of Google. A lot of the factors are how old is your listing, how many people favorite your item, how many people favorite your store, um, are you targeting your customers, do you have your shop policies and your about me section everything filled out completely, because then you'll rank higher on Etsy search results. Are you using keywords that are oversaturated, that are going to bury you at the end of the search results on Etsy, or are you using keywords that you could rank for organically that will land you on the first page of Etsy search results? There's so many different factors. Did you put the keyword in the title? Did you put the keywords in the listing description? Do you have additional keywords in your attributes? Do you have also the keywords sprinkled throughout all the other tags, sprinkled throughout your listing description? These are all on page factors. And then there's also off page factors, which is, did you did you put your listing keyword in your meta description, which is the snippet that comes up when somebody search for you on Google? So these are all things you have to consider and try to do as SEO best practices in order to rank for particular keywords. Um, But you could use a tool called Rank. Hopefully you are using it. If you're not, it's a free tool, or you could upgrade to the pro version like I have. And Rank, basically, you could go in there and do keyword research, and you could look at your competitors. And it's a really nice tool because they pull the data from Xe, so everything is very accurate. That way, you know what keywords you should be using and what keywords to stay away from. And if you ever are confused or you want to double cross that information and check, you could always go to Xe, type in the keyword, and you'll see that it kind of does match with what Xe rank is telling you. So the first thing I notice at looking at your keywords is three things. One, you're using keywords that are oversaturated. What I mean by that is these keywords here. Is keywords that too many people are using. You're using it as well. So therefore, it's going to be very hard for you to rank for these particular keywords because there's so many people using it. So you're not going to be found as easy. And if you were to run an Xe ad, your cost per bid is going to be a lot higher because you're competing with so many people for that particular keyword. Two, you're using keywords that are too broad, meaning that it could be just anything. So now you're showing your listing to anything, to anyone, or everything, right? So that's when you hear a lot of people say, I get a lot of views, I get a lot of impressions, I just don't understand why I'm not selling. The reason why is because you're showing your listing to anybody and everybody. So therefore, you're not targeting your target audience. So you're not getting the sales that you want. And three, you're using keywords that are too low in the competitive niche, meaning you're not, it's not, these are keywords that are rarely getting found or rarely getting searched on Xe. So you could use keywords that are too oversaturated, and you could also make the mistake of using keywords that are not look for on search engine, on Xe search engine too often. So if this keyword doesn't get that much traction, or not too many people are searching for that particular keyword, I don't recommend using it, because at the end of the day, you're also not going to make money from it because these are keywords that people are not using. So these are the things that I'm noticing from your keywords. So for instance, I'll give you an idea. Coffee. This is too broad. If you were to go to Xe.com and you were to type in the word coffee, obviously you're going to get coffee, but you're going to get all these different stuff. There's a coffee table, there's coffee cream, there's Starbucks cups, there's Trump coffee. There's so many different stuff. So you're not targeting your audience, you're just targeting anybody that likes coffee, but doesn't necessarily, these people probably don't want a coffee gift box, right? They're just looking for something else. So it's too broad. And also look at the competition. You're competing with 921,000 other people using that keyword. So therefore, it's going to be very, very hard for you to rank for that keyword organically. And also, you're going to be buried in the search results. You're going to be somewhere on the bottom of 250 because it's too many people using it. So therefore, I don't recommend that you use that keyword specifically. Another keyword is mug. This is too broad. Housewarming. Keep in mind also that when you use an attribute, so you use the attribute housewarming as an attribute, which is great, but you shouldn't put the same keyword that you use as an attribute in your tags because you're wasting a keyword. So keep in mind that you get 13 tags and you get attributes. Attributes count as tags as well. So keep in mind that if you put in as a tag, if you put housewarming, and let's say you put another attribute like home, I don't think that's one of them, but let's say you just put home, those two count as two tags. So don't use those tags on your regular 13 tags. So I recommend removing it. Well, you could leave it as an attribute, because as an attribute is one of the descriptions that fit what you're selling. However, as a tag, I wouldn't use it because it's too high in competition. So all of these right here are too high, and then these two here are too low. As you can see, our XE searches a monthly is unknown. That means that not too many people are searching for that. And then this one, new neighbor, this is too broad. New neighbor could be, I mean, look, when you type in new neighbor on Etsy, you're gonna get pretty much anything and everything. You see what I mean? You got a mug, you got a bucket, you got a key, you got a sign. So you're not targeting your audience. So therefore, you're just showing your product to anybody and everybody, and these people are not interested in your product. So you first want to do is, if you don't know this already, you want to sit down and really think about who is your ideal customer. Who are you trying to target for? And keep in mind that whenever you make a product, you are targeting for that particular person. When you start targeting too many different personas, what happens is that you don't have a niche down um, item. So you want to make sure that you work on who are you targeting, what is your demographic, who is your audience, etc. If you don't know who it is, what you could do is that you could start looking at your XC metrics and your stats, and you could start seeing who actually purchased from you, who's actually liking your products. Is it a woman? Is it where they live? You could also connect your Etsy shop to Google Analytics. I highly recommend doing that. I have actually a video on that on my YouTube channel. And connecting it to Etsy Analytics, what that does is going to give you more in depth information. It's going to show you who your audience is by gender, location, interest, um, even income, etc. It gives you a whole bunch of information. And the more you know about your customers, the more you know about those people that actually buy from you and actually go and like your products and browse your shop, the more you start noticing, oh, this is my target customer. So therefore, later on, you could run Facebook ads, or you could run a Google AdWord ad, or you could do Pinterest ads, and you could target those specific people. You could say, I'm going to target women that are aged from this age to this age, that have this type of interest, blah, 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 blah. And then you are only showing your products to people who will buy from you, from people who actually are interested in buying from you. So you definitely have to work on that. It takes time to develop it, but it's not something that you have to worry that you don't have it at the current moment. It should have been the first thing you figure out before you open your shop. However, it doesn't mean that you can't figure it out now. It just means that you have to put in the work and look at your metrics to understand who exactly is your audience and who are you trying to target as well. Um, so what I recommend is going back and changing your keywords. Make sure you use keywords that are long tail keywords, keywords that describe exactly what you sell. If somebody was to buy this gift for as a present, what would they type in? If it's coffee gift box, use those keywords and kind of figure out from there. It's gonna, when you put in on the keyword tool coffee gift box, it's going to spit out a whole bunch of other keywords. And then from there, you can start figuring out which keywords actually describes what you sell. That's a first start. Don't put coffee, that's a keyword, mug, that's a keyword. Also keep in mind that a lot of the keywords are repetitive. So you have keywords that are like new home gift or housewarming gift and housewarming. These are all repetitive keywords. So you want to make sure that your keywords are not only long tail keywords, but they're different keywords as well, because that will give you more exposure to more people. Once you do your SEO again and you get those new listing, those new keywords, you would do exactly what you did. You would put the main keyword in the beginning of your sentence. Now, I have my keywords set up like you do as well, but with the new changes that Xe made, what they want us to do now is to put the main keyword in the beginning of the sentence because that's a SEO factor, but they also want you to describe what you're selling. So when the person is reading it, they don't feel like this is like robotic or it's too many keywords. They don't understand what they're looking at. They want to make it very simple. So you're still doing your SEO in the sense that you're putting your keyword, but you're also writing it very practical so people could understand what they're buying from you. And then what you want to do is also include the main keyword in the beginning of your listing description, which you don't have it right here because if this is your main keyword, you don't have it here, you see. So this is your meta description. This is what people see when they Google your listing on Google. It's a snippet, and this is what they see on Google. You see? So you want to make sure that your snippet here, which is your meta description, that's what it's called, is one, it includes your main keyword, and two, it has a compelling description of what you're selling, enough that somebody's want to click on it to learn more about the product and hopefully buy from you. And then you want to also include your keywords throughout your listing description, and then you want to include them like you did here on the bottom as well. Um, the third thing that I want to talk about is listing description. This is another really important one. The reason why is because your listing description is what basically closes out the sale. So keep in mind that the photo is what made them click on your listing. Your keywords or your tags is how they found you. And the listing description is what builds credibility and makes them want to buy from you. People want to know everything about this particular listing. So you want to make sure that you include anything and everything they should know about your listing. So you want to make sure that you include what's included, how to order, the size, the shipping policy, return policy, um, every single detail, anything and everything. One, this will avoid unnecessary messages to your shop. Two, it will build credibility. Three, it will build trustworthiness. And four, most likely they'll buy from you. Right now, your listing description does need a lot of work. You really don't have anything besides. It looks like your your keywords, and then you have like a short description. So you definitely have to go back. This looks like a incomplete store basically because you don't have all the information that they need in order for them to say whether they want to buy or not buy from you at that given moment. So I would definitely go back and rewrite your listing description. Keep in mind, like I said a few seconds ago, make sure you include anything and everything they should know about your listing description. Um, that's why it's called listing description because you're describing what you're selling. So make sure that you put the necessary time on that. After you write your listing description, what I recommend doing is also adding categories to your shop or sections, right? The reason why is because you might feel like, why I don't have that many products, but the keywords you put here, those are additional keywords that you're optimizing your page for. Those are additional keywords that you could be found on Xe search results. So if you have like baby girl gift boxes, I would do that one. Baby boy gift boxes, I would do that one. Housewarming presents, I will do that one. And then if you have the Christmas one and the new mom gift, those are all keywords. Now I will do the research first and see which keywords you should be using in order to rank for that as well. And then you will add those keywords here and add your items there. It also makes your store look a little bit fuller because it's just deceiving in the eye, right? If you see all these little tabs here with different stuff, it just makes your store look a little bit more full. So I recommend doing that for both purposes, but mostly because it's an SEO factor and you could actually drive even more traffic to your shop. Um, Another thing I would say is your photos great because people get to see who you are. What I would do here is change this to your actual name because you have the name of your store there, and people want to know who they buy from. When people buy from Etsy, it's because they want to buy something that's custom made. They want to buy something unique. They want to buy something that they can't get nowhere else, and they also want to know who they're buying from. People like to learn who they're buying from. They like to read like the about me section story, which is really good that you have one. They want to, learn more about the particular person. So I recommend just switching your name here. I like your tagline. I like the fact that you have a banner. If you are using, like here, you have a blog, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. What I would recommend is that if you were to look at those most prominent stores, what they do is that they have banners and they include their social media handles. They have like the hours of operation. So I recommend doing that to kind of stand out from everybody else. But you got to ultimately when you look at the curation of your shop, you have to say what makes my store better than every other store that's doing the same thing. Am I solving a problem? What makes my store better? Why people should buy from me? And then you got to take the store and you got to brand it out. You got to make sure all your photos are cohesive. If you look at this photo here, the background is bluer and then the background is white. And I think it's the same actual background, right? But it's just that for some reason, your photos are, are or when you take the photo, it's different colors. It's not an even cohesive look. So you want to make sure that overall, all your pictures are cohesive. You want to make sure that you have a beautiful banner that stands out from other competitors. You want to make sure that your store looks complete, that you took the time to fill everything out. Some of your pictures here are cut off. Like right here, I see a little bit of the wreath. You have another one that I saw earlier right here is getting cut off. You want to make sure that when you put anything up on your store, it's not cut off. You took the time to look at it. If it is cut off, you take it down and then you redo it again until it's perfect or as perfect as you could get it, right? And it just takes time and practice. Not everything is going to look great at the first time you upload it because God knows my store still needs updating and I'm constantly changing it. But you do have to be conscious of when you add stuff to your store to make sure that's appealing. Make sure it's not getting cut off like right here with the bunny. Make sure that all your photos are cohesive. Make sure that you have branding colors. Making sure that your store policies are filled out. Um, it needs a little bit of work. Your return and exchange, your shipping policy needs to be more detailed. So you do need to. It feels like the store hasn't been curated completely yet. However, do you have great products? Yes. Do you have a great idea? Yes, you do. I think that a lot of people would think this is a reasonable prices also and would love to buy one of your gift boxes. However, you definitely want to work on your SEO, your images, and the curation of your shop, as well as your listing description. So you kind of want to tie everything in together because you don't want to have beautiful photos but then your SEO is not done correctly because you're not going to be found. And you don't want to have great SEO, you're getting found but no one's clicking because the photo's not that great. And you don't want to have like a great photo and a great SEO, but then when they're going to go buy from you, they're like, I don't know, this person didn't really fill out like the shipping policy. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna get it, and oh, never mind, I'll go somewhere else. You don't want that. You want to make sure that your store is fully completed 100%. So these are my tips for you. Guys, I'm trying to create a sense of community where we all come together and we help each other out. So if you have any suggestions, make sure you leave them below. Leave a comment below. If this is your first time watching, make sure that you like this video, you leave a comment, and you share this video with someone else that is an Etsy seller or they're thinking of becoming an Etsy seller that you think that this video will be helpful for them. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.